Do you want to make your doubters, your haters, your worst critics, your unpaid interns? Today's video will show you exactly how. MichaelMcLean.coach. If you just tumbled off the turnip truck into this world, I am a former minor professional hockey coach, amateur championship coach, own my own 2 franchises, turned 8-figure entrepreneur in multiple businesses. What do I do today? I help men like you write simple emails to your friends that literally can create an ATM machine in your life. Personal sovereignty, freedom, all of it. And plus some other topics that I like to dispense my unsolicited daily advice. If you want me and my broken iPhone videos in your email box every morning at 6 a.m., go to michaelmclean.coach, put in your name and email. There's nothing to buy. All you have to be able to do is tolerate and stomach my unrelenting opinions about business, marketing, email marketing, and winning every day at 6 a.m. Admittedly, I am not most entrepreneurs' cup of whiskey. Bottom line, toughest advice for the toughest business owners. So, really interesting topic, a story I'll share with you today that you're never going to hear from any other coach or consultant or so-called guru. And that is, when it comes to email marketing, newsletter marketing, I used to do television advertisements, radio advertisements, but especially anything online in the swamps of, twits and Twitter, Instagrunt, BoobTube, that rat poison TikTok videos, Book of Faces, any of those digital swamps, okay, where the mentally manufactured, mentally ill hang out. Any of those digital dementia swamps. If you're in there selling, and there's nothing wrong with being in there selling, long as you're not in there personally. I do some commercial stuff on Twits and Twitters. I do some business stuff on Book of Faces. I do some stuff on BoobTube, but I do not participate in any of those rat poison swamps personally. Only for business. So if you're going to be in those places conducting business, one of the really great things is you're going to get your share of critics, reply guys, haters, non-believers, whatever you want to call them. And actually, once you get going with email, and if you do social media, I do like every day. If you're not getting people unsubscribing from email, as an example, if you're not getting people disagreeing or people criticize, if you don't have critics and haters, you ain't doing it right. I tell my email million mastermind guys all the time, when I send a daily video email, my goal is 1% to 2% unsubscribes. If I'm not getting 1% of people opting out, 2% of people opting out of these daily emails, these videos, I ain't doing it right. I'm way too soft, way too boring. People aren't opening them. People aren't reading my stuff. People are not watching my videos. I'm being too much of a poodle. And when it comes to consumption, people actually reading your emails, watching your videos, whatever it is, I can guarantee you that your best consumption and your best sales emails, your best sales videos, your best sales posts, blogs, ads are the ones that are most controversial to the people you don't want in your world. There is no success without criticism. How do you think Joe Rogan was launched into superstardom? Massive criticism from CNN. He was a know-nothing podcaster for a while, talking about pot and smoking dope and aliens and UFOs and UFC fighting. CNN didn't like his message, and they complained and criticized. Next thing you know, Joe Rogan was, a couple of days later, known by millions and millions and millions of new people. You trace anybody that's, look at Elon Musk. Controversy follows him. That's how he's in the Elon Musk business. He's just the P.T. Barnum of our day. You've got Trump, you've got Henry Ford back in the day, you got Andrew Carnegie, you got all of these guys, Muhammad Ali. You just go through the list and they're all the same. They embrace controversy, they embrace critics, they embrace the doubters. They use it as gasoline and fuel, let's be candid. But here's the thing. They realize that those critics and those haters and those doubters, they were never, ever going to spend a penny with you anyways. So when I'm getting a 1%, when I'm getting, dozens of people unsubscribing each day, as long as I'm building my email list with the right type of people, entrepreneurs, top 1%ers, capitalists, achievers, pro-family, pro-business, pro-God. You just go down the list. I have nothing to worry about. I actually intentionally curate, swift sword, and cut the rope on purpose. I want to get rid of the cupcakes. I want to get rid of the snowflakes. And I got to get rid of the low IQ poodles. They don't belong on my list. How they find their way here and haunt my world, I have no idea. But if I talk about my principles and my values every day, they curate themselves. They unsubscribe, they whine, they complain, and we cut them loose. So it's a mindset shift for you with all of your marketing, especially email. If you're not getting 1%, if you're not getting unsubscribes, you're not doing it right. You're not being authentic. You're not telling enough stories. You're not putting your flag in the ground. What do you stand for? What are your principles? What are your values? What are your beliefs? And then when you talk about those things, you'll have this special connection with your email list, with your client list, with your newsletter list, like nobody's business. Like when Joe Rogan has a podcast, he's just preaching to the choir. He's preaching to the converted. Everybody who's on there has the same values, the same principles, and the same beliefs. How do you think the late, great Rush Limbaugh, the greatest personality influencer of all time, 30 million people for 3 hours a day for 30 years? Who the hell can keep an audience and attention that long? The great Rush Limbaugh. But what did he do? He had principles, he had values that he believed in, and he never strayed. He preached them from his pulpit, the radio show, and then eventually TV show, all day, every day. And people that didn't agree with him, free country, they didn't listen, they didn't come in. And if they were haters and doubters, he just used that as fuel. They were unpaid interns. He took their comments, he took their hate, he took their negativity, and he would comment about it, he would talk about it, and he would use it as fuel to build that connection with the people that loved him. See, that's the thing. These guys are unpaid interns for you, because if somebody sends you a nasty email or a nasty reply, most normies would be like, oh my God, she hates me. He's so mean. And I'm just like, first of all, is this fucker a client? Is this a person who gives me money? And then if they're like a, if it was a Bill Gaw, or if it was a David Linton, or if it was a Paul Nolte or a Stephen Ivanko, then you would look at yourself and say, what the hell have I done? But That's not who's giving you hate. That's not who's doubting you. That's not who's being negative. You know, like 99.9% of the time in the insurance business, the barbershop business, this business, the window shopping business, the restaurant business, you check out where the hate's coming from. And number one, it's coming from beneath. It's not coming from somebody who's more successful than you, more wealthier, no. Hate comes from beneath. And secondly, okay, they're non-buyers. They're not people who consume your stuff anyways. They're just trolls. They're just tomato cans. They're just low IQ, what do you call anti-social media, haunting those places. So you curate them the hell out of your life. You don't comment, you don't give feedback, you don't put on the knee pads and try to appease them. You just be 100% indifferent. And if you want to take it to an all-time level like I do and have some fun with this, because I encourage it, I encourage people to do that stuff, to disagree. It's a free country. But if somebody sends me a nasty message, or somebody sends me something that's anti-America, white man, or anti-capitalism, or anti-Trump, or anti-winning, or anti-success, or whatever the hell it is they send me, sometimes I turn it into my next email. Sometimes I turn it into my next video. Sometimes I write an article about it in my newsletter. Sometimes it becomes a telegram. And I must confess that those are some of my best, most consumed writings. So you can see where a hater or a troll or a critic or a tomato can, one of these punch-drunk tomato cans, they're your best friend. I don't go back and forth with them and waste my valuable time and energy. I'll just take what they've done. I leave their name out of it, and I'll comment on it. And it's some of the best fodder you'll ever have. Like, this shit writes itself. Whether it's an email, whether it's an article, you can literally use doubters, haters, critics, and trolls as your unpaid interns. How's that for badass 1% thinking? Somebody criticizes you, somebody makes fun of your principles and your values, whatever it is. Are you kidding me? Everybody, all hands on deck. Let's turn this, let's spin this into gold. Let's spin this, let's make lemons into lemonade and have fun with it. So that's my big message today, especially when it comes to email. Because you're going to have people that find their way onto your list and you're like, how the hell did this guy get on my list? Well, that's the point of having principles and values that you stand up for. You're going to magnetically attract the people that share your worldview, that share your principles, that share your beliefs, and you're just going to have that connection like nobody else. And then you're going to have the fringe, less than 1%, by the way, less than 1%, who are going to disagree, who are going to criticize, who are going to doubt you, who are going to hate on you. And that's their right. But you got to be smart enough to use what the good Lord gives you. When I get something that's especially nasty, I get it every day. Like, I'm so proud of my hate mail. Like, I'm so proud of my hate email. I get hate faxes. That's something to be proud of. My grandfather would be so proud if he was alive. He'd be like, I knew that kid was going to be somebody. He gets hate faxes. Like, I love it. I love it. And in a lot of cases, I'll shoot a video about it. I'll comment about it, whatever. But I use it to fill my pockets with mucho fungolas. Like the great Gary Halbert said, mucho fungolas. That's money. That's cash. So I take the haters, I take the doubters, take the critics, and I turn these tomato cans into my unpaid interns. I'm running $1 million one employee business here. It's just Mark Andre and I. Mark Andre's my business partner. I'm his business partner. It's just a two-man show. We actually don't have any employees. So I need these unpaid interns. I need these punch-drunk tomato cans and poodles. I need them to keep showing up. So if I keep talking about what I believe in, America, Canada, freedom, family, children are a gift, life is a gift, I believe in prosperity, I believe in abundance, I believe in self-reliance, I believe in independence, I believe in the First and Second Amendment, I believe in all of these things. I believe in all of these things. If I keep talking about them, just sharing my authentic life, I'm going to have lots of paid interns. And I encourage you to do the same, whether you have an email list of 50 people or 100 people or 1,000 people. It's great. The bigger you get, the more unpaid interns you're going to have. It happened to me in the insurance business. It happened to me in the barbershop business. It happened to me in the book selling business, the consulting business. I've had people hate on me over a Merry Christmas email. I've had people hate on me over a Thanksgiving email. I have had people hate on me over raising money for abused animals. I've had people hate on me for my daughter's lemonade stand for charity. I've had people hate on me for talking about my creator, my God. I've had people hate on me for, raising funds for the Rotary Club. I've had people hate on me for giving free books, free tickets, free food, free pizzas. I used to give away my 9,000 free pizzas a year in the insurance business. I would get 25 to 35. I had an email list then of in the 50s to 60,000. Oh my God, Linda Bartlett used to get about 35 of these emails. You and your pizza and all this. It was wild. And I used it all of it. I used all these tomatoes as my unpaid interns. That's a beauty today. You gotta give me my cred. This is not gonna win me any points with the low IQ tomato cans, and this is not gonna win me any points with the fuzzy-headed academics or the pretend experts, but I'm telling you the way it is in the email trenches. Man, oh man, use your critics, your doubters. They're the gift that just keeps on giving. And be an adult. Grow some thick skin. Like my dad said that time years and years and years ago when I walked into his office at the insurance agency and I had printed off this nasty email that some lady sent us about pizza or something, and I was troubled, I was traumatized. And my dad's in there working as he always does, and he looks up finally, he says, "What do you want?" And I said, "Well, this lady here, she didn't agree with our Happy Easter or something, and she wants you to call her on me." And he said, "Is she a client?" And I said, I run back to my office, I got the knee pads on, and I come back, "No, she's not a client." He goes, "Don't waste my fucking time like that ever again." That was the end of our meeting, stand-up meeting. Don't ever waste my fucking time like that again. If they don't bring us money, they don't have a voice. This is our company, not hers. She won't be getting any callback. Plain and simple, right? Your world, your rules. So, I talk a lot more about this. This is why you need to be a member of my Email Millions Mastermind. The link is below, emailmillions.coach. $147 a month, and I write the emails for you. But why you really need to get on board now is because of the special training. I do a special training every month. I just think the one this month is the best yet. So in February, the special training for Email Millions members, $147 a month. That's like a coffee each day. That's like $3.35 or something. I can't do math. I'm not like my daughter. And it's titled How to Build an Email List from Zero, where I used to be, zero, to 500 people, buyers, players with money in 90 days. Can you imagine going from not having a list like I used to, none, not knowing how to build a list, to 500 buyers in the next 90 days? Basically, you've punched your ticket for peace of mind and financial freedom. That's what a 500 list of buyers. It's the quality, right? It's not the quantity. I'm never impressed. Somebody says, "Oh, my list, Michael, it's 20,000." Like, who fucking cares? All I care about is how much mucho fungolas does that list make? How much money? Because the last time I went across to the bank here, they never said, "Michael, we'd like to deposit those views. Michael, would you like to deposit those likes? Would you like to deposit those critic comments? Would you like to deposit, your clicks?" No. Every time I've gone to a bank in my life, the only thing they let me deposit, cold hard cash. That's how you build a list of 500 buyers. Like Halbert said, players with money. You get a list of 300, 400, and 500, and you consistently email it like I'll show you how to do. I'll write the emails. I mean, are you kidding me? It's your ATM machine. You semi-retire at your ATM machine. You retire at your ATM machine. And then do what I do, sell it to the business you sell your company to for a nice 100 grand, 300 grand, or in my case, $500,000 for an email list. Thanks very much. I'll use that money to buy a commercial property. Wow, that was before the pandemic. And I turned around and sold that property the other day for a $220,000 profit. I forgot about that. I'm gonna shoot a video about that. I'm gonna do that tomorrow. Email millions.coach. Let me do it for you. Let me train you. Let me teach you. Let me build you a money machine, an ATM machine, and let me show you how to turn haters, critics. Let me help you grow a pair. Let me help you walk back into adulthood where you actually learn to love, enjoy, and profit from doubters, haters, trolls, and critics. 2 words that changed my life, 2 words that can change yours. Be relentless.